Davinci Resolve has been growing ever more and more popular as the years go by.
But then I learned about Davinci Resolve, and let's just say I was blind, but now I see.
So I have officially switched over to Davinci Resolve for all my video editing stuff.
And it offers a free version that makes it really accessible to a lot of people. But if you're getting a little bit more serious into, say, video production or creation, you might be considering upgrading to the studio version of Davinci Resolve. One of Studio's most powerful assets is its price. It goes for $295 at a flat rate, whereas a lot of other editors nowadays are turning into a subscription-based service. Let's look at Adobe, for example. If you get Premiere, then Premiere is $21 a month. You'll be paying about $250 a year if you're going to keep it consistently. And then if you want to get After Effects as well, which Resolve basically has After Effects built into it, and it's called the Fusion page, you're looking at $55 a month. Yes, this gives you other things like Photoshop and Lightroom and stuff, but a Final Cut nowadays, I think it's a really, really great deal. It's a flat rate of $300. So obviously Final Cut is restricted to Mac. So another option on Windows is, do you guys remember Sony Vegas Pro? I think Vegas may have been bought by another company or something, because it isn't really on Sony's website. They do offer a subscription-based service at $10 a month for the Pro version, which is probably what you'd want. And then they offer a new license for $200. Now, $300 for Davinci Resolve Studio isn't exactly like cheap, but it is a pretty nice price for creative software. Not to mention, you get lifetime updates. You buy this once. It's not like buying like when Premiere was a one-time purchase and you had to keep buying every single update. No, you get Resolve Studio and you get all the coming updates. And you can also get it by buying one of Blackmagic Design's other physical products. Say if you buy a Pocket Cinema camera, those cameras are getting really popular nowadays, you get a copy of Davinci Resolve Studio along with it. And if you get any of their mixing boards, also get a copy of Davinci Resolve Studio. When you get this, you can use your license code on 2 separate systems at the exact same time, which gives you some flexibility. Say you had a desktop and a laptop, then you could have the same studio license on both of them. Or say you had like a 2-man studio, and then you could share a license at the exact same time. Now you can always just log out of your license on one of the computers and then just like swap between them, but you get 2 instances at the exact same time. And already into this video, it's probably almost seeming like I'm just a shill for Davinci Resolve Studio. But I'm going to tell you, I'm not sponsored by them. I've just been using the free version of Davinci Resolve for years and years at this point, probably about 6 years. But I finally made the leap to actually buy Davinci Resolve Studio. So let's check out some of the features that it gives you. Studio gives you access to 32K footage. Now, we're not talking about 4K or 8K. We're talking about 32K footage up to 120 FPS and access to export and HDR. You see some extra effects that you might find useful in your project here and there. One amazing effect that you can use for your videos is the noise reduction. It can help save a lot of your footage, but another feature can also save some of your audio. And that is the voice isolation, AI, and a neural engine in Davinci Resolve to do this. But the main feature that pushed me specifically to get Davinci Resolve Studio is the hardware acceleration with certain codecs with your graphics card. Some of the most common codecs that we work with are H.264 and H.265. A lot of cameras, phones, OBS, whatever you want, use these codecs all the time. Once you get the Davinci Resolve Studio Edition, you can hardware accelerate these codecs. And this is all according to Puget Systems and their testing. This basically allows you to get a lot smoother playback with your footage while you're editing, and access to your graphics card when you're rendering videos, which can make the render process take a lot less time. But right before we go more in depth with the hardware acceleration, I wanted to let you know I recorded this video about the whole upgrade process and my experience firsthand. So if you see any footage with me, if I have headphones on and I have a different jacket on and stuff, that is past footage. And then whenever I have this and there's a blue light behind me and stuff, this is the current footage. It's obvious that the Davinci Resolve, at least to some extent, still uses your graphics card whether or not you have the studio version, but it can't use it to hardware accelerate H.264 and H.265. Now, using the dedicated encoders on your GPU will lead to your video playback having less stutters, have you with less frustration, and be way more efficient on your system because you're using hardware that is specifically meant to do this, whereas you're trying to emulate that with software if you're using it on your CPU or your GPU core. It's way more efficient and lower power, and your computer will remain a lot quieter, if you are using the dedicated encoders. Now just look at these side by side. You can tell that there's definitely jumps in the footage when there's no hardware acceleration. Not to even say that I have a slow CPU. I have a Ryzen 9 5900X, which is a 12-core, 24-thread processor, and 32 gigabytes of system RAM at 3600 megahertz, and an RTX 3080. Not a slow computer by any means. If it's hardware accelerated, just keep in mind that you're going to use less system RAM and more VRAM instead. And this might be a bad thing, especially for NVIDIA owners, because NVIDIA doesn't like to put a lot of VRAM in their graphics cards, unless you want to pay $1,600 for a 4090. Although I will say the video memory is not a problem, especially for me, because I use pretty highly compressed footage. So if you're anywhere in that same boat where you compress your footage quite a bit, which I think is pretty common for a lot of people, then video memory might not be a problem. So I bet you're wondering though, if playback is so much better and it's so much more efficient to use it on dedicated encoders, why doesn't Blackmagic Design just include this from the jump? My main theory for why this is the case is because you have to pay for licenses to use 264 and 265. So since Resolve is giving you a free version of it, they don't want to lose money on every single copy of the free version of Resolve, so they just make you pay for that acceleration. And this is possibly proven by the fact that you can hardware accelerate AV1 footage in the free version of Resolve. Now AV1 is a new codec that is probably going to completely sweep the globe, but this is an open source codec that you don't have to pay for licensing fees when you use it. Also, I mean, you can't really blame Blackmagic Design to want you to pay for the full version of Resolve. It's still very usable without the hardware acceleration in the free version, so keep that in mind. You will also note, with access to the encoders on your graphics card, your dedicated encoders, you will be able to export footage faster, especially depending on what kind of graphics card you have. So I saw export times change pretty dramatically. When exporting H.264 footage, I saw my times go down from 5 minutes 30 seconds, at least on this project, to 2 minutes 40 seconds while using it on the GPU. And I saw my times on the 265 footage, so HEVC footage, go from 8:36 on the same project all the way down to 3 minutes 20 seconds on the GPU. This is all due to giving access to the NVIDIA encoders. Not to mention the entire system was basically chilling when it was completely rendering this footage. The GPU was only at like 40 degrees because the encoder was doing all the work, and the CPU barely was doing anything, basically just managing Resolve as a program. This also gives more export settings if you wanted to be a little bit more meticulous on how you build things up. Also, the last thing with encoders is you do get multiple GPU support, which means, for example, with like the common person, you could get an ARC 380 graphics card or something, which is like $100, and you can get AV1 encoding, and then put that in your system and use it as a co-processor to encode AV1 and work with it in your projects, which can be really powerful in a lot of ways. And hardware acceleration in general was the main selling point for me for Davinci Resolve Studio, and maybe the main selling point for a lot of you guys as well. But I did mention earlier, there are a lot of other features that Resolve Studio offers you that you can take advantage of. So let's go ahead and run those now. First up is voice isolation. Now this uses Davinci Resolve's neural engine to isolate your voice from any background noise, and it does a really surprisingly good job. So this is 100%. Let's see how this sounds. I just didn't care, honestly. I figured just buying an AMD card, like the background noise is gone though. Check this out. I just didn't care, honestly. I figured just buying an AMD. Now I do see this in general as only a recovery tool. It still manages to make it sound quite natural, and you can blend the effect in case it's a little bit too overpowering for you. But I also try to avoid using it because it is a little bit more taxing on your system. You will see a little bit of slowdown, and some little bugs every now and then will pop in where like you only hear audio in your left ear for a second or your right ear for a second. I figured that isn't the only recovery tool in Davinci Resolve Studio. You also get access to noise reduction for your videos. And this can be a lifesaver, as say you just couldn't get enough light on a certain scene. You can use some noise reduction to get rid of some of the grain in your video footage. Like just check out this one. You see this clip of this graphics card is pretty grainy and kind of ugly looking, especially if you zoom in on it. And the noise reduction actually does a very surprisingly good job at still preserving a lot of detail in the footage. But it isn't the only visual effect that Davinci Resolve Studio gives you, as you get a whole host of other OpenFX that you didn't have access to in the free version. Now most of these are pretty niche. I don't really expect you to use them in all of your projects or anything like that. Some of my favorite ones that they do give you are like the bloom effects, the lens flares, and the different blurs. They're really interesting to use. Some overlay things can look a little corny, but you do have access to them, so there's really not that much to complain about in the grand scheme of things. I actually also also really like this retro looking one. I personally don't think any of these effects are completely necessary for video production. They're just kind of a little garnish on top. There's a ton more features in Davinci Resolve Studio, which I probably didn't name, but they exist and you probably will find out about them. Those are some of the big ones that I can at least take note of. So I listed off a lot of good things about Davinci Resolve, a lot of features that you might be able to make use of and everything, and how the pricing structure is pretty fair compared to other programs that are out there. But this video hasn't been to give you any fear that you're missing out on all the features that are in Davinci Resolve Studio, because paying $300 for this software is not going to make you a better creator. And that is why I'd only recommend you get it if it's justifiable. Especially with the free version, if you got into a point where you make money using Davinci Resolve, then you might be able to justify buying the full version of it. Or if the studio version has a completely necessary feature that you need to do whatever work you're doing. And this is especially interesting because one of the main selling points of the studio version is the hardware acceleration with 264 and 265 in your GPU, which makes video playback a lot smoother and more efficient. But AV1, the new codec that is going to be very standard pretty soon, doesn't need the full version of Resolve to accelerate it. You can accelerate it on the free version. Honestly, for a lot of people, if you have access to using AV1, then you might not even need the studio version of Resolve. So from what I said, and again, not sponsored, but from what I said in this video, if this convinced you to get Davinci Resolve Studio, I just wanted to give you a quick guide on how to install it, because it isn't exactly the most clear thing. This especially applies if you already had the free version of Resolve on your computer. First, you want to go to your projects and you want to back them up, because you don't want to take that risk that everything could possibly get deleted if something happened, okay? And once your projects are backed up, you have to uninstall the free version of Resolve. And don't be concerned, your projects should still be there when you get the studio version. Buy it, and then they give you a link to the studio edition to download that one instead. So there are two fundamentally different versions of Davinci Resolve. You have to download the studio one specifically. Once you purchase it, you also get a license code emailed to you. Again, keep that one very, very safe. That is what you paid for. Now, all you have to do is install Davinci Resolve Studio. Now, for me personally, I just leave all the default locations, but you may have a different setup. Install it into the same place that your free version was. Now you just open it up, you input your code, and if everything worked properly, then all your projects should still be in the project manager. But if you did have a problem, just restore your backup and everything should be fine. Now, when you're into it, especially to get the hardware acceleration working properly, you have to set up your preferences. It should do this automatically, but it's not a 100% guarantee. So double check that it's running on your graphics card and you have hardware accelerated encoding and decoding set up for your GPU. Pretty simple process overall, but maybe not the most clear thing to everybody. So I really, really hope that this video helped you and gave you a perspective on the Davinci Resolve Studio Edition. And hopefully you can remain wise with your decision making and all that stuff. I've been using Davinci Resolve for long enough that I'm happy to support them and I'm happy to buy it because it makes my workflow better. But for you, it might be a completely different story. So I wish you the best of luck with whatever you're creating and just stick with it. And I'll see you guys in the next video and I'll see you in the comments. If you have any questions, just let me know, and peace.